In July 2015, something huge went down in the astronomy world. NASA dropped the bombshell that the New Horizons spacecraft had finally snapped crystal clear images of Pluto's surface. Before this, humanity barely knew anything about Pluto at all. It was the so-called kicked-out planet of the solar system, smaller than Earth's moon, first spotted back in 1,930 inches, the Kuiper Belt. Sitting more than 7.3 billion kilometers from the sun, even sunlight takes about 5.5 hours just to reach it. Even the Hubble Space Telescope couldn't get anything more than blurry blobs. So NASA said, all right, let's go see it for real. In 2006, New Horizons blasted off into space. On its insanely long journey, it used Jupiter like a cosmic slingshot, stealing gravity to shave 3 whole years off its travel time. After zooming past Jupiter, the probe went into deep sleep to protect its instruments. 9 long years later,
let's get started with today's topic.
Near Pluto. On the 14th of July, 2015, New Horizons flew just 12,500 kilometers above Pluto's surface. Scientists were basically holding their breath. As the images started pouring in, details no human had ever seen suddenly appeared. Massive mountains, frozen glaciers, impact craters. Pluto wasn't dead or boring at all. It was stunning. And then there was Charon, Pluto's moon, stealing some of the spotlight. Charon orbits insanely close, and the two are tidally locked, always showing the same face to each other like eternal dance partners. Visually, though, they're totally different. Pluto is much darker, hinting at a longer, more complex history. What nobody could forget was that giant, heart-shaped region on Pluto's surface. About the size of Texas, it stood out hard against the darker terrain. But that heart wasn't symbolic, it was a massive ice plain. Data confirmed that about 98% of Pluto's surface is covered in ice, with average temperatures around minus 229 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, nitrogen ice behaves like water ice on Earth, meaning it actually flows like glaciers. Inside the ice plain were polygon patterns, suggesting this surface is surprisingly young, maybe only 10 million years old. Surrounding it were towering ice mountains and extreme terrain that honestly looked unreal. Elsewhere on Pluto, darker regions showed up, one shaped eerily like a whale. These areas were packed with craters, meaning they're way older. In the middle of the Cthulhu region, scientists spotted mountain ranges topped with methane ice. The gray material around them is thought to be complex hydrocarbons formed by sunlight reacting with Pluto's atmosphere. And yeah, that's another shocker. Pluto has an atmosphere. Super thin, sure, about 1 million times weaker than Earth's, but still there. Under those insane conditions, liquid nitrogen could actually exist on the surface. Then in June 2020, scientists dropped another wild theory. Deep beneath Pluto's crust, there's a strong chance of a subsurface ocean made of partially melted water ice. That means heat. And where there's heat, the idea of life doesn't sound so crazy anymore. But the most emotional part of the mission wasn't scientific at all. Onboard New Horizons was a tiny capsule carrying 28 grams of ashes belonging to Clyde Tombaugh, the man who discovered Pluto. Launched on the 19th of January 2006, the mission marked what would have been his 100th birthday. Tombaugh never got to see Pluto clearly while he was alive, but in the end, he became the human who traveled closest to it. That heart-shaped ice plain was later named Tombaugh Regio. And honestly, that's the kind of full circle moment that reminds everyone why space exploration hits different.